First, I'm gonna ask you, we're gonna discuss these three questions that I came up with, and then we'll go from there. Reading this book, there are a lot of new perspectives that I saw just about life, how to live your life, what makes a successful life. The first tough question that I came up with was, what is the true meaning of life? Like, what are you inclined to do by the end of your life? So I'm gonna let you answer that first.
I think the true meaning of life is to make connections with other people. I think it's important to, in some ways, speak up for what you believe in and make sure that you are living a life that's true to your principles, while also being fully present in your relationships with other people.
Yeah, that's really what they talked about in the book. Morrie himself said that the meaning of life is to make connections, and I have to say I agree with that. You put some insight in that with your talking about voicing your opinion. I think sticking to your morals is really important. So our next tough question, how do you lead a successful life? This isn't, this is just overall. Me personally, I don't think that the end goal is to make the most money or have the nicest things, but to live your life and once it's your time to not wish that you had done more.
Yeah, I think that making sure that you live your life with an open heart and that you are willing to embrace people regardless of their differences, and that you come to a point where you feel like you did your best in every situation that you were in.
Alright, and finally, what is your outlook on death?
Well, that's a really pertinent question at the moment, because it's we're getting to a point where my parents are really looking at those final few years of life, and I feel like death is part of the circle of life. I think that it's an ending to your bodily time on earth, but I think when people leave us physically, they are still with us in a spiritual or emotional way. I think about the people that I've lost over my lifetime, and I still feel that as much as I miss their presence, I don't miss what I learned from them or the things that they sort of left behind that are intangible. I guess my perspective on death is that it's something that we should not necessarily be afraid of. We should be, it's hard not to be sad when someone dies, but it's also a celebration of someone's life.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. The impact that anyone has made on your life will always be with you, and that's how they stay with you even after their passing. And as was stated in the book, once you learn how to live, once you learn how to die, because it definitely is a part of your life, and I really think that death is physical, not so much spiritual. Like your spirit lives on forever, and death is just your body ending, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm just gonna ask you some questions and just give your best answer. Uh, what is your greatest piece of life advice?
Always learn. Always be open to learning. You will be surprised as you get older. You might feel like as you're getting older, you should know more and you should feel like you're closer to knowing everything. It's so not true. The older I get, the more I realize I don't know. And just having an open mind is a really important thing. It's very easy as you age to think that you are set in your ways and you have your, your principles and the way that you live. And like I said before, I don't necessarily think that your moral compass or your core beliefs change too much as you get older, but there certainly is always room for learning.
Alright, how can one best find happiness and be more fully human?
I think that starts with being happy with yourself. It's impossible to have a full and happy life if you're not satisfied with who you are. So really working on embracing yourself, forgiving yourself for the things that you don't like about yourself, and celebrating the things that you do like about yourself. That's the foundation for being able to be fully connected to other people. It's impossible to have real, full relationships unless you're okay in your own skin.
Alright, and finally, where or how did you learn your greatest life lessons?
I think in my family, my parents are remarkable people who started out with next to nothing and raised 5 children and really taught us the difference between right and wrong, taught us the value of a good education, taught us to be open to all kinds of different people, and showed us that it takes work to be a good person. And I think I couldn't have had better role models.